Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, we're excited to have a guest on our two authors' books and a beverage. And I have my beverage. Mary has her beverage. Our guest has her beverage.
Yes.
Our guest today, and I'm really excited about Elizabeth Suggs, is here for us to get to know her and talk to her. It's an interesting thing because she's in the UK right now, so it's like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we're so pleased that she decided to stay up to talk to us, our chat on Two Authors, Books, and a Beverage. Liz is a writer, an author. She's a leader in the community writing areas, and you dabble in podcast, I hear. You've been a journalist. Oh my gosh, I could go on. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to Liz, and I'm going to say, tell us something about yourself. And I understand you're going to school in UK, right? Okay.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm currently at Swansea University. It's Swansea, Wales, which if no one knows about where Wales is, it's on there's London right here, and then if you travel 3 hours by train, you'll get and you go more west, then you'll get to Wales, and then you can get to Swansea. The reason why I'm in Swansea and getting my master's there, not somewhere in the US or somewhere else. My grandpa actually went to Swansea University, and I'm doing a creative writing master's, which my dissertation is on my grandpa. He was an engineer. He created his own cordless microphone. He was one of the first to create one. And then he also made some of the very first portable calculators. He actually made, his were like during the time when his were $200 on the market, and then the ones that were like really common were $400. And at one point his were the smallest on the market. It was like, it's all this crazy stuff. And so I've been doing a lot of research on that. And so that's why I'm here. I just wanted to be, I know it was the best option to come to Wales to figure everything out, because you need to be close to it to understand it. But yeah.
Oh, sure.
And how long have you been there?
For a year. I've traveled back home. I traveled back home in Utah in December, but I've been here for a year, and I'm super excited to go back. It's funny because my dorm, my university doesn't end technically until the 30th of September, but my dorm, I have to leave it by the 9th of September. So it's kind of interesting. I'm like, okay, well, this is the university dorm. This is not like private dorm. This is university dorm. So I'm just like, how did this poor planning? So thankfully I have friends here, and I can stay with them while I finish up. But yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask, we all know you're a writer because you're on Two Authors, but I want to hear about this true crime production that I have seen on Instagram and everything. That looks so fun.
Yeah, so it's a Murder by the Sea. It's a UK true crime type of show. It's on I believe it's on BBC Reality. Oh, I can't remember exactly. But once I have it up, I was on 3 different episodes. I helped out. I did a lot of grunt work, but then they needed someone to be like an extra in some parts. So I helped out, and it was really fun. And that my scenes and everything, like those things that I helped out in, that's going to be aired in January. So don't worry, I'll post all about it. But they're real, they're real stories. So they were about people who had died in the UK specifically. So it was very interesting.
Cool.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, Judy, do you have a question? I have lots of questions, so I'll let Judy ask some, and then I'll ask some.
So while you're going to school, working on your master's, do you have time to write?
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
So
we have
someone joining us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's real neat. Welcome,
is he one of
Jonathan.
your friends?
Yes.
That's what I
Welcome,
thought.
Jonathan.
So
Hi, welcome. You want to introduce him?
Oh, please.
oh, he
Let him wait till he
It's
comes
actually-
back and forth. Huh?
Okay. Oh, there he is. Yeah.
So he's actually the co-owner of Collective Tales Publishing. So we own Collective Tales Publishing together.
Welcome.
And we publish a bunch of books. Like one of the recent ones was Collective Fantasy, and
Oh,
then we're gonna get that's a fantasy one. We've done horror, and we're gonna do a sci-fi one. We've actually been working on a sci-fi one while I've been here. We've been doing Zoom. So like there was an Instagram posted recently, and it makes me laugh. I don't know why, but like it was like 10 a.m. during my time, and it was like 3 a.m. his time. And
Oh,
he's so he's a night owl usually, but we like had worked really late for some reason. And so I'm just like bright and cheery, and it's like daytime because I work very well in the morning. And he's just like, I don't know, he just like fell asleep, and it was really hilarious. But we love you. We love everything you do, Jonathan.
Yeah, and now he's on, so let him introduce himself. Oh, now you're back on mute. Oh, now you're off mute. So introduce yourself, Jonathan.
Yeah, sorry. My kids are running around, so hopefully they won't.
Oh, that's okay. We
I wasn't planning on
we
being
don't
on camera.
mind kids.
Sorry,
I was gonna
I'm
say,
like,
we don't mind kids.
Sometimes I have a
I'm just
dog barking.
Yeah, I'm Jonathan. I'm also a writer, and Liz and I work together a lot. And you know, and I mostly publish horror stories, but I've also dabbled in other genres too.
Cool.
Now,
And
where are you coming from right now?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And he is going to be, I think, do the presentation with Zoom at the Kearns Library, or are you going to actually be there, Jonathan?
Oh, well, I think we're doing Zoom, right, Liz? I don't.
Okay.
I'm
All
not sure.
right. Well, I'll see you there then through Zoom because I'll be there. So, okay,
cool, yeah.
cool. Okay. So, what else were you going to ask something of Liz, or did you
Well,
finish?
I was
You were working on a book, you said,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay, what was that? Give us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So are you talking about
you-
the book on my grandpa?
Is that the one you two are working on together?
Oh, you're talking about Jonathan. Oh, no.
Jonathan?
Sorry. So we're working on a Collective Visions, which is a sci-fi anthology, and it's going to have a bunch of authors in it. That one's actually pretty much done. There are like 2 different stories that we just need to check the edits, but then we're going to format it, and then it should be up in September, like near the ending of it, maybe not really much later than that. We haven't set like a specific date, but so we should. And then after that, we were doing a Collective Chaos, which is a dystopian / apocalyptic anthology. And so that one is, I believe we're still accepting submissions from authors in like special situations. Like technically it closed, but like, because, you know, anyone who's listening here, you know, if they want to submit, or if they want to know more, like I'm happy to give information, and I'm sure Jonathan is as well. So,
And I will post the website on the group so that anybody can go and see. And you also do editing too, right?
yes.
So anyway, everything will be posted so people can, you know, find you and reach out, and maybe they have a story to, you know, go on one of your anthologies. I don't even know what dystopia is, so it won't be me. But
Well, it's like world-ending chaos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, it's like dystopia is more like it's leading up. It's kind of like the crumbling, you know, like Fahrenheit 451, or
okay.
yeah, that's more like the dystopia, and then like the apocalypse is like the after effect, and we're kind of we're allowing both if they like fit in the theme.
And cosmic horror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, three genres are included.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one's more open.
That's exciting.
I love people who write all genres. I have no problem with people that don't pigeonhole themselves. You know, if you've got a story and it's something you're passionate about, write it.
Yeah,
So,
I completely
no matter what it
agree.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else do you have planned for the future once you get your degree?
Yeah. So, well, my dissertation is the first, I'm writing it, like I had mentioned about my grandpa. It's the
Mhm.
first 18,000 words, which is about like, I don't know, 40 pages, give or take, of my grandpa, this one book. And then after that, I'm going to finish up and make like, 50 to 60,000 pages or words, I mean, and then I'm going to publish that. And I'm also working on a dystopian romance, which is like very
Oh.
different genre, which you
Wow.
and so both of those are nearing completion. And so hopefully by next year, I'll be able to either publish or query them. So that's my
Okay,
big
great.
plan for that. And then I'll be a famous author. Just kidding.
There you go.
Liz, is your grandpa still living?
No, he passed away in 2013.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought maybe if he was, you'd be talking to him about the
Oh
past.
no, it's actually really difficult. I wanted to do a book on him for a long time, but for some reason I only decided after when he was gone. And so it is very difficult because there's sometimes I have questions where I'm like, this would have been so easy if I could have just asked. It's so
Right.
easy. And then but in a way it's more gratifying when I find out the answer. So I like, and I have to be more strategic on how I answer, like find the answer. A lot of times I'm finding letters or people like personal accounts, because there are some people who are still living. But a lot of times it's just me putting together the pieces and asking the right questions, because sometimes there's just answers that or questions that'll never be answered, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in the area where you're at, is there anybody that remembers him, or was he just there for a time?
So he was just there for a time.
Okay.
But when I in the first 6 months, I was really trying to find someone who would know him. And I went to the university because he was working on his PhD during that time. So I went to the university, and because his PhD was on his cordless microphone and he was trying to like enhance it. And so I went there, tried to talk to someone. There was one guy who vaguely knew him, but he didn't work with him. He was more like the overhead, all seeing. And the person who my grandpa had worked intimately with would have been a person who's currently alive, but he's just not mentally sound anymore.
Oh,
And which is really sad for a lot of reasons.
Yes,
But I was actually really distraught for a while, because I was just like, well, no one remembers him. Like, did he really not make any impact? I mean, I know he was only here for 3 years, but come on, like you would think that someone. And so I actually found out his church. Like he was very, I mean, he wasn't really religious, but he was very active in the church. And so everyone remembers him there. And it was so crazy because I've been finding like just different stories about him. And I'm yeah, so it's really interesting. And there's also this one story that one documentary, like Tomorrow's World from BBC that apparently he was part of. He would have been a very small segment, so I didn't find him in like the main ones in the archive, so I have to like talk with the BBC to give me the full copy. But I like 3 different people have said he was on Tomorrow's World, and it would have been about his microphone. So I'm still in the waiting game. It's just, a lot of stuff is just me
wow.
requesting information and then waiting months.
Yeah.
But
Wow. Well, I
So-
think your time has come to an end. It's
Yeah.
been fun.
We don't want to keep you up any longer than we
No,
have
I
to.
know. Thank you for staying up for us. We appreciate
yeah, no
it.
problem.
Jonathan, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
I'm so glad you did.
My
Liz-
pleasure. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes,
I
thank
do
you. I
have
really appreciate it.
one last little question, and that is, did you know anyone there when you moved there for school, or have you just met all these friends that I see you with while you've been there?
Oh, I knew no one. And
oh
in
my
fact,
gosh, you just disappointed.
yeah, I knew no one. I left all my friends behind in Utah, and then it was really weird because I like came here and I just kind of like hoped for the best, and I had plans, but it was almost like I was this like little puppet being dragged along by my like plans that I had made before. it was so weird. And but I came here and I'm somehow being successful. And but yeah, I knew no one, and I've just made all the friends.
Oh, you do. You have so many friends I see all the time on Instagram and things. So, well, it's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you actually in person.
Yes, no, it'll be
So,
lovely.
I will see you soon. And thanks everybody for coming and chatting with us. And I'm sure everybody is going to love watching this. And I will, like I said, have everything posted so that you can find Liz. Okay,
Thanks for
So-
joining us.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys.
Liz.
thank you.